Welcome to the town of Quantico, one of the most unique small towns in America. Unlike any other place, this town is located entirely inside the gates of Marine Corps Base Quantico. Whether you're military, a local history buff, or just curious about life here, today we're going to be taking a full community tour. We'll explore the town's history, housing options, dining spots, and what it's like to live in this one-of-a-kind place. Let's get started. But before we do, if you're new here, my name is Eduardo Lima. I am a licensed real estate agent in Northern Virginia, and I'm also an active duty Marine as well as an attorney. I help military families and working professionals move to and around Quantico area and Northern Virginia at large. Before we dive into the housing and amenities, let's talk history. The town of Quantico is one of the only places in the United States that exists completely inside a military installation, but it wasn't always this way. Long before the Marine Corps arrived, Quantico was a busy port town with railway hubs along the Potomac River. The name Quantico comes from the Algonquin word that means place of dancing. By the late 1800s, this area had become a key spot for timber, shipping, and trade. Then, in 1917, during World War I, the United States Marine Corps established its first training camp here, slowly expanding to take over the land surrounding the town. However, the town itself remained an independent municipality, officially incorporating in 1927. That means it has its own mayor, town council, and even some civilian residents, despite being fully surrounded by Marine Corps Base Quantico. Now let's talk about where people actually live in the town of Quantico. Since the town predates the base, the homes were privately owned, meaning both civilians and military families can live here. There are a few different types of housing options. Single-family homes. These homes have a lot of history and character, with many built in the early mid-1900s. Some have been renovated, while others maintain their original charm. Townhomes and apartments. You'll find several multi-unit buildings in town, making an affordable option for those who want to be close to the base. Rental properties. Many landlords rent to military families or base employees, offering a convenient, off-base, technically on-base, living option without the long commute. One of the biggest and most obvious advantages of living here is you're only minutes away from work if you're stationed at Quantico. But that comes with a catch. You must go through the Marine Corps Base Quantico gates to enter or leave town, which adds a layer of security, but also some logistical challenges. Dining and local businesses. For a small town, Quantico has some great local businesses and dining options that cater to both Marines and residents. One of the most well-known spots is the Globe and Laurel, a Marine Corps-themed steakhouse founded by a retired Marine officer. It's packed with Marine Corps memorabilia and history, making it a must-visit for anyone stationed here. The town is also home to small businesses, barber shops, convenience stores, and veteran-owned shops, many of which have been around for decades. It's a tight-knit business community that gives the town a welcoming small town feel. Daily life and community vibe. So what is it actually like living here? Well, life in Quantico is definitely unique. First, it's one of the most walkable communities in Northern Virginia. Since the town is only about half a mile wide, everything, shops, restaurants, and even the train is within walking distance. Speaking of the train station, Quantico has the VRE, Virginia Railway Express stop, making it easy to commute to Washington, D.C. or other parts of Northern Virginia. For military families who don't want to deal with I-95 traffic, this can be a huge perk. Community events are also a big part of life here. The town hosts Marine Corps celebrations, holidays, parades, and local festivals throughout the year. Since so many military families pass through, there's a strong sense of tradition and camaraderie. Pros and cons of living in Quantico. Now that we've covered the highlights, let's talk about the pros and cons of living in Quantico. Some of the pros include the fact that the town of Quantico is extremely close to base, and it's technically inside the base, so there are no long commutes if you're stationed in Quantico. Another pro is that the town is extremely walkable with a strong sense of community. There's a historic charm with unique local businesses. The VRE makes access to Washington, D.C. very simple. So what are the cons? In my opinion, some of the cons include the limited housing. Since it's a small town, availability is low. Also, you have to pass through base security in order to enter and leave. One of the biggest cons of living in Quantico is probably the train noise. The Amtrak and the VRE run through the town daily. For some people, living here is the perfect mix of convenience and community. For others, the limited housing and security gate access might be a deal breaker. It depends on what you're looking for. So, there you have it, the town of Quantico, a truly one-of-a-kind community with deep military history and small-town charm, an unbeatable access to the Marine Corps Base Quantico. If you're considering a move here or want to explore other nearby communities, I'd love to help. As a licensed Virginia real estate agent and active duty Marine, I specialize in helping military families find the best fit for their needs. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below if you have any questions about the town of Quantico, and you can check out the description for all of my contact information. Give me a call if I can be of any service to you and your family.